Before we start to create a USB stick with the Autopilot detection software on it, we'll need two things. We'll need a copy of the boot media creator, which you can find in the download section of your customer portal account. And you'll also need the Autopilot detection WinPE environment ISO, and that can be provided to you by your support representative or your account manager. So go ahead and download the boot media creator and get it installed via a standard wizard interface. Once that's done, we can launch it from the desktop of our Windows computer. Go ahead and do that. It'll need admin permissions. Right, Boot Media Creator is sort of the hub of creating boot USB sticks for Ziperase. So we can create our erasure tool, our verification tool, installers, and that sort of things. But we're mainly looking here at the Autopilot detector. So we'll choose that, and we'll select the Autopilot ISO that we downloaded before. So in our downloads directory, open that up. Now we've got a few options here. We can connect to the Ziperase portal or the command center or use offline. So the portal, that's going to be the individual clients are going to talk directly over the internet to the Ziperase portal and send the device hashes directly to the portal. The command center is using the command center in as part of an erasure network, and that will um, proxy the requests from the client up to the portal so that the client doesn't need to be on the internet and it can be used alongside the command center. That's mainly used when you're using the command center in sort of a Pixie environment. And then you can use it offline. So, of course, we can save a CSV of the device hashes that we can upload to the portal later if you can't get a particular machine on the internet or the environment that you're working in doesn't support putting the devices online. But we're going to go for the portal here. We'll make the user login manual. So you've got the option of manual or automatic. Manual is more secure. If you've got a USB stick that automatically logs in as a user, then anybody can use that stick and debit licenses from your account. Obviously, the enrollments will end up in your account rather than any other account, but they can still check and use licenses. Um, and if you choose the other one, the other thing happens. We can add Wi-Fi SSIDs and passwords here. I'm not going to use them as part of this demo um, because we've only got Ethernet in this environment. We can set up a label here and choose which device we're writing to. And we've chosen this USB device. This will take maybe 5 minutes to write to the USB stick, so we'll just fast forward through that now. Once the device has finished writing, we can take it and plug it into a client that needs to be checked for autopilot status. So we'll go to the boot manager in the BIOS for that machine and choose the USB disk that we wrote the autopilot check client to. And we'll fast forward through booting into the WinPE environment. WinPE environment starts up and it starts some background services and sorts out its networking stack. Once that's done, we'll start to see a graphical user interface. We'll see a bit of our network status. We'll sync our time with the internet and we'll go ahead and ask for a login. So this can be automated away, as I said before, by creating a connection with our portal when you're creating the stick. But here I'm typing in the username and password for extra security. And the software will start gathering the unique hash that identifies the device, its serial number, vendor information, model information, and that sort of thing. And we'll save that out to a CSV on a USB stick if you've booted from a USB stick. Now the enrollment check is in progress and we're sending that report up to the Ziperase customer portal. Once the portal has confirmed receipt of that and has checked the integrity of the hash, it will start checking with the Microsoft APIs. At this point, it's completely safe to turn off the computer. So if you're looking to process the device immediately into Erasure without waiting for the result, you can do that. Otherwise, we can wait approximately 5 minutes to get a result on screen for the user that stood in front of it. And you might want to do that if you're taking a device and uh, and if it's enrolled, immediately quarantining it rather than erasing it. Now we've got our final result, it's safe to shut down the machine, and we'll cut over to look at the reporting side of things on the customer portal. So we've opened up portal.ziperase.com and we can head to enrollments. Here we can find all the enrollment information. I'm going to add a few more columns here. We're going to add the vendor and model so we can see a bit more system information. And we'll add the created at date so that we can see the time the device was originally added, as well as the time that the device got its last update. I can now choose to select the devices that I want to export. I can hit the print button, and that will give me a download of a table with all of this information on it. Or I could hit the update button, and that would give me an update. Now, I'm particularly interested in the enrolled devices, so I'm going to filter for those. So this will show all of the currently enrolled devices in my group, and I can select all of those and hit the update button to trigger an update. Those devices have now moved into the updating status, so we'll remove our filter and we'll sort by the updated date to push them to the top of the list so we can watch them complete. Those will take another 5 minutes or so to receive their update. In the meantime, we'll look at the history. So we can see that the devices have previously been checked over the course of a few weeks, and they've never been unenrolled. Next, we'll move over to the command center and talk about setting up the Pixie environment so that you can boot the Autopilot enrollment check alongside the standard core erasure tools from Ziperase. So here we are in the command center, and we can pop into settings. And at the bottom of the settings screen, we'll find the autopilot detection section. We can choose to upload the same autopilot image as we were using to create the USB stick. That'll be in my downloads directory. Open that and upload it into the command center. I'll just fast forward through this. Once that's finished uploading, we'll see a few more settings appear. So we've got a checkbox that will enable the autopilot boot manifest on the Pixie menu. So you'll have an item in the Pixie boot menu for autopilot detection. And we can also set that to be the default in the Pixie menu alongside the items that can be found in the boot manifests menu here. As we mentioned before, clients booted like this don't need an internet connection. All the requests that are made to the customer portal will be proxied via the command center, and the reports will be sent onto the portal and through to the Microsoft APIs for checking. All right, thank you very much for watching. And if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to a member of our support staff at support@ziperase.com or your account manager. Thank you very much.